So y'all hit me up via email or on socials. Y'all tell me what y'all want me to talk about, man. I'll give y'all this information. As a broker, my job is to help facilitate the deal. And the more you know, the more you're going to appreciate me. The less you know, the more you're going to question me and wonder why you're even using me. So while a lot of brokers don't like that I do all this stuff on YouTube, the reason I do it is because if you can come in and we're talking the same language, I'm just a facilitator of the deal at that point. Now you're understanding everything that's going on, and we do deal after deal after deal after deal. Let's get into number 6, man. You may have heard it as LTV, but that really means loan to value ratio. Loan to value ratio is the percentage of a property's value that a bank will lend you. Example, if a property is worth 200,000 and the bank offers you 80% loan to value, they'll cover 160,000 and you bring the other 40,000. Okay, guys? Basically, the bank's way of saying, we'll cover this much, you handle the rest. Loan to value is going to be critical. Loan to value is going to be critical, right? And so the bank is telling you what they're loaning you for the property because the bank wants you to have that skin in the game. Okay? The bank is saying if you got some money invested, more than likely you ain't going to walk away from it, or more than likely you're going to take it seriously. Now, in some situations, will they do 100% loan to value? Will they do 90%? Absolutely, depending on the ideal scenario of the house. And it happens, guys. I've seen it. And if you're an investor who can get 100% loan to value, you cooking with gas at that point. You walking in tall cotton at that point. But a lot of times when banks see investors, they try to make them put skin in the game because you're not actually living in the property and you see the property as a transaction versus the emotional attachment if you're living in the house. If you'd like me to do an episode just on different loan types and how loan to value impacts your down payment, let me know in the comments, guys, because this is one of the biggest things you're going to find. And if and at the end of the day, now you understand why so many people are trying to go on the cheaper side as possible with some of these properties they want to get. They trying to buy the cheapest property they can because let's just say you found a property that was a crap shoot and it was horrible looking. It's an ugly house, been dilapidated, all that stuff, but they charging you 20,000 for it. Well, if the bank gonna give you 16,000, it's a lot easier for you to come up with 4,000 than finding that $400,000 house that the bank gonna give you 320,000 for, and you got to come up with 80,000. Y'all see the difference? Now you see why people are going for the cheapest house possible because if their investor or their bank is only giving them 80%, now they got to come up with the rest of the cash. Okay. Number 7. Here's another 3-letter acronym: ARV, after repair value. Guys, I get this call all the time. Hey, Jeff, how much you think it'll go for once I fix it up? ARV means what the property is worth after it's been fixed up. So as a broker, I use my tools to tell you what I think it will be. You buy a fixer upper for 100,000. You spend 30,000 on the renovations. If the home's new value is 160,000, that's the after repair value. And one of the things I try to tell people is, if you put your renovations in it, right? The goal should be to double the price. The goal should be to double the price. So when you're trying to put your upgrades or your repairs, my goal, if I bought it for 200, I got to put what in it that's going to allow me to get 400,000 when I list it or more. That's the one thing I'm trying to tell people. And you got to go through the permitting process. You got to go through all of this stuff. But it's worth it if all of a sudden, okay, I paid 200,000 for a property. I'm going to put 7,500. I'm going to put 75,000 into it, and I'm going to sell it for 400,000. That's the after repair value. The more you go through permitting and the more money you put into that house to flip it, the more your after repair value goes up, and banks love that. Don't do shit sharp methods, right? That's going to ruin your after repair value because when the agent is walking the property with the potential buyer, they're going to see everything you went cheap on. Now that means they got to fix it. But you're selling it for a certain price that it may not be any equity for them to fix it. It has to come out of their pocket. And then you got to do seller credits and all that kind of stuff, right? Flippers and wholesalers live and die by this number. Get it wrong.